from September 2023 till December 2023, I was in this room every day working 8, 10, 12-hour days, doing everything I possibly could to start making money online. And I'm so thankful that I did that. I'm so thankful that I did. You have to make that sacrifice initially, which is why I'm such an advocate. If you're unsure about what you want to do and what path you want to take in your life, just stay at home, live with your parents, figure it out from here. About 8 months ago, I made a video when I was in Thailand talking about the advice that I would give to my younger self. Now, it's almost been a year or over half a year since that video, and that video did pretty well, and I got a lot of good feedback from the people that watched that video saying that it helped them a lot. So I'm going to redo that video today because I feel like now's a good time. I'm back home. I'm back where I grew up, back in my old room right now, and a lot has changed since I've last been here. When I was 18, I was at school. I left school. I came back here. I was grinding in this room, making no money at all. All my friends were at university. I'd just been dumped. Things weren't going well. And it's funny to be back here now, 4 years later, knowing that things have gone well, and I stuck at it, and now I'm traveling, I'm achieving things that I dreamed of back then. So I want to give advice to myself, because you might be watching this now, maybe you're at a crossroads in your life, maybe your things aren't going so well for you, maybe you're thinking you want to try something different, but no one around you is doing what you want to do, whether that's become an athlete, start making money online, whatever it might be, right? I want to try and give as much value to you as I can and just tell you the things that I've learned, because I've trod on that path where things aren't going well and people are telling you things aren't going to work out, and it ended up working out. So I'm going to go over that today. So I've got my phone just here, just for a bit of reference. And the first thing that I've written, and it's written in big capitals, is have self-belief. And I think this is probably one of the biggest things, because for me, myself, I know that I overthink a lot. And it's actually a bit of a secret weapon that I overthink so much. I never used to think it was, but I do now. But you need to have self-belief that you can do it. You will be surprised. You are so much better than most people. And that's actually the second thing I wrote down on this phone, is that you are way better than most people, right? I wrote the exact words. Most people are so average. If you're thinking about wanting to improve, you're already so far ahead. If you're watching a video like this in your spare time on how to improve your life, you are so far ahead of so many people already. And I used to hear that when I would watch videos, and I'd be like, nah, bullshit. Loads of people want to improve their lives, but they don't. So many people are so content with where they're at. And I don't blame them for that. And I'm not having a go at those people. If anything, I almost envy those people, because they are content with where they're at. Whilst me, and the way my mind works, and probably yours, is I'm always wanting more. I always want more. I want to improve. I want to get better at this. I want to get better at that. I overthink everything. I always think worst case scenario. But you have to have self-belief and realize you're so much better than everyone. And the only way you can prove that is by outworking everyone. It's by putting in the reps. It's by doing what needs to be done. If you wake up at the same time every day and go to bed at the same time consistently, you're already miles ahead of everyone. People are so lazy nowadays. Whether that's your friends, whether that's people you've met, they say they're going to do one thing and they won't do it. They say they're going to get up at this time. They say they're going to go to the gym consistently and they won't do it. These people are so fucking lazy. So if you have a bit of drive, a little bit of ambition, and a strong work ethic, you'll go so far. And I used to not think that. I used to have self-doubt in myself. I so almost didn't try this online thing. I so almost never gave any of this a go, because I just didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I could do it. I was that close to letting my self-belief not let me go for it. And if I had allowed that destruction and that believing I couldn't do it, then I wouldn't be where I am now. I'd probably be in university, in some uni house, getting pissed up 3 times a week, if I hadn't have just trusted and backed myself. And it's hard to do it, especially when you have no proof, especially when you can't be like, oh, it's worked yet. And it's the unknown and it's something you've never tried, but you just have to go all guns blazing and back yourself and go for it. And I've taken that, and now I take that into new ventures. I'm always growing. I'm always trying new things. But now I find it way easier to just give shit a go, to just throw shit at the wall and just to back myself, because I've seen what happens when I back myself and I see the results that I get. So if any advice I can give to you, massive, massive piece of advice is just have self-belief that you can do it. If you're willing to put in the work and you have a decent work ethic and you're not retarded, you will do well if you stay consistent. If you stay in the game long enough, you will do well. So have self-belief that you can do it. That's by far the biggest piece of advice that I would give you. Right. Let's have a look at the next one. Make it easier. Move in with your parents. Now, I think a lot of people, whether you're maybe leaving university or leaving school, you don't want to be the guy who is living at home with his parents, who is working a dead end job, who things aren't working out for, but you have to go through that period if you want to be successful, right? Yeah, these are your options. You can either get a job, maybe in corporate, move to London. On paper, things look good, but in the long run, you know that's not for you, right? Just because you're worried that when you go and see your friend's parents or when you're at a party and someone comes up to you and they ask you, "Oh, what are you up to?" And you have to say, "Yeah, I'm working some shitty job in my hometown, living at home with my parents, trying to save up, trying to make something work online." It's not nice to say it. Trust me, I know, because I'm very open about this. I went to a really good school, a good school. It was a private school. I played a lot of sport when I was younger. I managed to get a scholarship to a really, really good school, right? And when I left, and I said I wasn't going to go to university, you probably imagine the reactions that I got, right? You could probably imagine when I would go to my friends' houses and their parents would be like, "Oh, so Ben, what are you up to?" And I'd say, "Yeah, I'm not going to Leeds Uni anymore. I am working at a hotel and I'm trying to make money online. I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to learn sales." You can probably imagine the reaction I got. It wasn't very good, right? And I tried to avoid those scenarios as much as possible. But I'm so glad that I was living at home with my parents, because you save money, right? Maybe you're paying minimal rent or no rent at all. You can get a dead end job, but then you can just save up all the money you're making from that. You have no distractions because no one around you is here. All your friends are at uni or they're doing other things. So you can just lock the fuck in. You're saving money. You're spending less money on food. You have a roof over your head and you have no distractions. And that for me is what got me to this position now. From September 2023 till December 2023, I was in this room every day working 8, 10, 12-hour days, doing everything I possibly could to start making money online. And I'm so thankful that I did that. I'm so, so thankful that I did. You have to make that sacrifice initially, right? Which is why I'm such an advocate. If you're unsure about what you want to do and what path you want to take in your life, just stay at home, live with your parents, and figure it out from here. Because if you move to, I know a load of people. If you move to London, you start paying £1,000 a month, right, for rent. You're working this job. You got bills to pay. You got shit you need to pay: electricity, bills, rent. You're going out, getting food. Like, you'll struggle to then be able to start your own thing if you're in that position. Whilst when you're at home, you save everything, right? You may pay a little bit of rent, minimal rent, right? But you have no distractions, right? All of these things, it's so important. And when you have that 3 or 4 month period of just lock in, that's when you see the biggest results. And that's what I saw. I went from nothing to like £5,000 a month within that time period, because I was so, so locked in. And you have to have that period where you just sacrifice everything and you just lock the fuck in and you just do what you need to do. I cannot advocate for that enough, honestly. Right. Let's have a look at the next one. Don't obsess over the money. Now, I think this is a big thing for me, and I try and bring this into my life now, is that it's really not all about the money. And the reason I say that is because I've met a lot of guys over the past 3 years who make more money than I do, but I wouldn't trade lives with them. And why wouldn't I trade lives with them? Because it's not just about the money. Everyone has different values, right? For me, I value money a lot. Of course I do. I want to be fucking filthy rich. Of course I want to be rich. Of course I want to prove everyone wrong and make a load of money, right? Of course I want to do that. But that doesn't mean I don't have other values. That doesn't mean I don't prioritize my health and my relationships as well. And if I can give you any advice, it would be, yes. I know this kind of counteracts, because I've just told you to lock the fuck in, but you need to lock in, but then you also need to enjoy those times, right? Keep your relationships. Don't be one of these guys who drops their day ones. Like, that's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. And the people who tell you to drop your day ones, look at them. They have no friends, right? Yeah, they may have a load of money, but the people around them don't care for them, right? You need to be around and stick around the people who truly, truly care for you and truly know who you are. The people who have known you all your life. Just because you're starting to make a bit of money online and you're going down a different route doesn't mean you need to drop your friends, right? Does it mean you make new friends who are doing what you're doing online? Yeah. I've met loads of people as I've traveled the world, right? Loads of people who are doing better than me and people I really get along with. That doesn't mean I'm going to drop my day one boys who are from my hometown, who I've known for years, right? That's the value of those relationships. So what I would say is don't obsess over the money, because like I said, I did it. For a long time, all I cared about was the money. I just wanted to make as much money as possible. I wanted to prove everyone wrong. But you soon realize when you meet these guys who are making more money than you wouldn't trade lives with them because they're unhealthy, because they have shit relationships, because they're just weird blokes who cannot hold conversation, right? So don't just obsess over the money. Think about your values and what you want out of your life and realize, okay, I don't just want to have $1 billion in my bank account. I want to experience other things. For me, my health, my wealth, my relationships, those three things, those are my values. Those are my core values. I know them. I want them. Those are the things that I'm going to pour my energy into, not just money. So find out your values and make sure it's not just money, because you don't want to be the guy who makes a load of money but has no friends and is fat as fuck, has no health, because those guys are the worst people to be around. Trust me. Right, let's look at the next one. Treat those around you well. It's the most rewarding thing. Now, I'd completely agree with this. Well, of course I would, because I fucking wrote it. But the most rewarding thing is being able to give back to the people around you. So for me, I have a few things that have been really rewarding over the past few years, but probably some of the most were taking my mum away on holiday. So one of my goals from the start was I wanted to take my mum on a trip away. Right. And earlier this year, we went to Norway. I paid for the whole trip, flights, accommodation, food, everything. Right. We were away for just under a week, and it was the most rewarding thing I've ever done. Right. My mum, she wrote me a letter, right, which I've still got and I'm going to keep forever, talking about how thankful she was that I took her, how it was such an amazing trip, how proud of me she is, right? And that, you can't buy that. Like, genuinely, you cannot buy that. And that trip, I'll always remember that trip, right? And I want to do tons more of those trips. It's not just that, it's having the capability to, me and my brother, right? Me and my brother are very, very close. We, every year for his birthday, since I started making money, I take him out for a meal. Me, him, and his best mate, who's also my mate, a guy called Angus, right? And we go out for a steak meal, probably spend like 300-400 quid on the meal. And it's one of the best nights because I get to see my brother, I get to give back to him. We get to have this evening together, right? And it's some of the best nights. It's some of the best nights. You know, we get loads of wine, we have some drinks, we have some of the best food, and just giving back to him and having Angus there as well. It's like, these are the memories that I know I'm going to look back on. Being able to go out for these meals and build my relationships with the people I care about, give back to them and help them and just have a good time. Like, those are the most important things. And even now I help other people, right, online. I help them start making money through sales, and there's nothing more rewarding for me when someone comes up to me, or I get a text from one of my boys in my community going, "Yo, Ben, I just made $1,000 today. Yo, Ben, I hit a 10K month," ringing me up. Like, there's nothing more rewarding than that, than giving back. And yeah, of course, these guys like pay me for me to help them. And this isn't any kind of plug for my program. Like, I'm not plugging my program here, but what I'm saying is, when you give back to people and you see the effort people put in, and then you see that reward, and you see the sort of, yeah, you see they have changed their life as well, and that you've actually played a part in that. It's huge. And being able to play a part in someone's life, changing someone's life, and then also, like I said, giving back to people you care about. Like, there's actually nothing more rewarding than that. And I'll always remember that, and I'll always remember those things. And that's what drives me now, gets me up every day, is being able to give back to the people I care about, and then also helping other people change their lives like I've changed mine. Like, there's nothing more rewarding than that. And yeah, I think that's why I wrote it down, is that give back, and give back to the people you care about, because yeah, it's so important. Right. Next up, don't take advice from the cynics. Only take advice from people who are doing what you want to do. Huge. And I talk about this so much. I talk about this so much, but stop taking advice from people who aren't living a life that you want to live. They may be your best friend. They may be your friend's mum. They may be your parents. Don't take advice from them if they're not living the life you want to live. That is the bottom line question that you have to ask yourself. If someone is giving you advice, look at them in the eyes, look at who they are, what they do, how much money they make, what their relationships like, what's their health like. Would you take advice from them? Would you swap lives with them? Would you want what they have? And if you would, take their advice. If you wouldn't, then don't. And that bottom line advice that is stuck in the back of my head for the past 3 years has been so important. So important. And I'll tell you why it's so important, because there's going to be people who are going to doubt you when you're trying to do something different. When you're going against the grain, when you're doing something everyone around you isn't doing, people are going to doubt you. So you need to have an ingrained fucking thing in your head going, I don't care what you think if I don't want your life. And please, like, honestly, it's one of the most important things is you cannot take advice from these people if they're not doing what you want to do. It doesn't matter if they're your best mate from school and you've known them for 10 years. It doesn't matter if you think they want the best for you. It doesn't matter if they're not living the life you want to live. They give advice based on their experiences and the life that they lead. Therefore, they're going to give you the advice that has got them to where they are in their life. And if you wouldn't want to be where they are in their life, then do not take their advice. Bottom line, enough said. I don't even need to say anything else. But please, 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 if you're going to do anything, if you're going to watch anything from this video, remember that. Remember that. That advice has changed my life, genuinely changed my life. And I cannot advocate for it enough. Don't take advice from people who aren't living a life that you want to live. Right. Next up, and probably one of the last ones. Yeah, this is the last one. Move country and travel. Now, I'm a big advocate for it, because when you move and you live in a different country, not only are you getting out your comfort zone, which is by far one of the most important things you can do. And honestly, that should be a whole nother point. Just get uncomfortable, do things that scare the shit out of you. Moving country does that. But secondly, you meet new people, you experience new cultures. And when you get out and you meet new people and you see guys who are similar to you, who are honest on the same path as you, maybe they're doing better than you financially, maybe they've got a business that's been around a little bit longer. You meet these guys and you realize that they are no different to you. There's no difference between me and someone making 100K per month. No difference. There's no reason why I shouldn't be making 100K per month. And you may be listening going, oh, fuck off, Ben, blah, 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 blah. But it's true. I've met guys who are making extremely good money, and there's no difference between me and them. The only difference is they just had more self-belief and have just been in the game longer than I have. When you meet these guys that are doing better than you, you realize, holy shit, if they can do it, I can do it. They are normal people. I have gone for a pint with this person. I've gone out for dinner with him. He's cracking similar jokes that I would crack with my boys back home. And when you realize these people are fucking normal guys and normal people, it makes you realize that you can achieve anything. You can seriously achieve anything. And it's so cool being able to meet these guys. And not only that, but it expands your network. You then have a network of people that you can rely on. I've got my day one boys at home in Bristol who I see and fucking love to bits. But does that mean I go for advice with them about my business? No, I've got my business friends, the people I've met when I'm traveling, who are doing similar things to me as well. And I can go for them for advice as well. So it's just being able to build that circle and being able to travel and move country. It allows you to almost build a new identity for yourself. You get out of a place where you've been all your life and you go somewhere new and you become a new person pretty much. Like, who I am compared to where I was 3 years ago is completely different. I'm a completely different person. And a lot of that is down to the fact that I've traveled the world and I've stayed in different places and I've met loads of people. So any chance you get to leave the country, do it and just travel. And it's scary as shit to begin with. And you're going to feel uncomfortable. Like, one of the first times I left was to go and see my boss, who I was working for when I was working in sales. I'd never met him before, and his friend was there as well. I'd never met him. I flew out to Madrid, didn't know either of these guys, was staying in an Airbnb with them. For all I knew, they could have fucking murdered me, but I did it, and it was one of the best things I did. I had an amazing weekend. I built amazing relationships with these guys who I'm still friends with today. And I never would have done that. I never would have those relationships if I didn't just have a fucking pair of bollocks and just went for it and got uncomfortable. And again, I think that's like the way I'll finish this video, is like, just get uncomfortable, do shit that scares you. And people say this all the time, but actually do stuff that scares you, like stuff that makes you feel sick to the core. Do it, because those things, when you're on the edge, when shit is like, when you feel anxious, when you feel so nervous, when you're like, oh, I really don't want to do this, I really don't want to do this, I feel uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. Those are the moments where you grow. Those are the moments where you grow. Where do you grow? Do you grow when you're comfortable or when you're uncomfortable? when you're uncomfortable is when you grow. You set new precedents for yourself. You expand your knowledge. You expand who you are as a person when you get uncomfortable. If you do the same thing every day and you stay in your comfort zone, nothing will change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So take a step, get uncomfortable, do shit that scares you. That would be my final bit of advice. And that's what I try and embrace every single day, is doing shit that scares me, because that I know is going to develop me the most. Right, I'll leave it there. 20-minute video. Hopefully that was useful. Let me know what you think about it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.